Oh boy. Well, good morning. Can you hear me? I'm on a new computer. Could someone just give me a thumbs up if they can hear me and can see me? In the meantime, I'm going to talk as though you can see me and you can hear me. If you click on that one, Richard, could you click on the one, please? That's highlighted right there. You've got it on there already. So you can see turn me and you can hear me. Mute it. Click on that one, Richard. Could you click on the one, please? Okay. So let's say hello to Venvita. Thank you for coming today. Can you hear me, Venvita? Like I said, this is a new computer, so I got myself a new laptop. It's an HP. I really am enjoying using it. I just got it last night, late yesterday, and so I'm learning. I'm still using a mouse. I prefer to use a mouse as as the little thing on the laptop. I just have always preferred it. I've had a couple of small laptops. So anyways, so we're starting out today with a new computer, and I said I was going to get one, and I got one. So good morning to you, Vanvita. Thank you so much for coming. Here it's 11 o'clock here on the West Coast. Kaylee, um, thank you. Thank you so much. I got to tell everybody something about Kaylee. I really appreciate her. The RV DJ, and I'm used to looking a little higher at my camera. My camera is a little lower now. So there's going to be a little quick learning curve, I hope. So the RV DJ, welcome. Glad you are here. Scott Jacobs in appreciation. Thank you, Scott. You must be tired from that hike. Artist on the road. Thank you. And you and I are probably, spiritual sisters in some way. Let's see, Linda Barker, good morning. Roy and Becky Raid, thank you, Roy and Becky's people, for coming over. Van Life Rocks, yay, you are here. Thank you. Nursing Our Travel Bug, hello. Nomadic Rat Pack, thank you for coming by. All right, so we've got a couple people in the house so far. I'm going to pull you up on my phone so that I can. Let's see. There we go. And as you come in, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up, that would be great. And I'm going to take this earpiece out because I'm listening to myself 2 times. It's kind of weird phenomenon. Okay, so I just want to make sure. Papa Drew, thank you for coming by. I appreciate it. I got something in my eye. I had to run out and do an errand this morning, like first thing. Kim in Ohio, thank you, dear, for coming by. And we've got Linda Barker and Scott. Y'all are so great for coming by and saying hello. Roy and Becky's Travels. Howdy to you. We are going to have a guest this morning, but she is my sister, and I'm well aware that 11 o'clock to her means sometime around 11:15. So how's it coming through? Can anybody give me any feedback on that? Are you seeing me okay? Are you hearing me okay? Because I just don't know. And I keep looking at my phone. Okay, I'm gonna put my phone down and I'm just gonna, let's see, we've got some here. 5x5. Looks and sounds great. Okay, good. So I'm hoping that this computer is the fix. In the meantime, talk a little bit about news before. So my sister is going to be here. She was her specialty and work for many, many years, decades, was networking. And in the work that she had to do, networking was a huge piece of it. And I think we all know that networking is a huge piece of what we do. And just by the way, I am now at 702 friends. I looked this morning and I went to sleep and it was about 698, and I woke up with 702. I do not know how that happens, but it's just magic. Linda R, hello. Hello, hello. Thank you for coming by. It is like magic to me. And so Kim in Ohio is one of the people who's helped me quite a bit. I appreciate her tremendously. Um, I will tell you, I have been to some grow channels, and I think if utilized correctly, and there is a correct way to use it, and there's also people like Kim in Ohio who have great channels to help people connect and network together, that teach others how to do it the right way. Going over, watching videos, commenting, leaving something there for someone to be able to say, this is what I'm doing and I'm doing it right. So thank you, Kim. I always promote you because I'll tell you what, you have been a great help to me. So thank you so much. So Kim in Ohio, Victoria May Wallace, one of the sweetest people on the internet, at least on YouTube. Uh, let's see, anything else? Anybody else that I might have missed? I want to make sure not missed anybody. I do think it's important to say hello to everyone because this is my house. I consider this an extension of where I live because trust me, I'm living in this house about 14 hours out of my day, if not more. So I eat, sleep, and breathe YouTube in one way or another. And that's okay. I asked for it. Nobody put it on me. And I enjoy it. So, yep, got the computer. It seems like it's in line, that it's working good. Nomadic Rat Pack. A close friend had a trailer fire yesterday, and all his knife making equipment was in it and was oh my God, uninsured and does not live in the trailer. However, he lost his business. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. That's one of so one of the problems and the fears, and it says he didn't live in it, but his business was in it. And when we put everything in one place, whether it's a house like a sticks and bricks or a building downtown where someone has a business and everything of that business is in there and it's not insured, that's just lessons for me, in making sure that things are covered. I was listening to Gary's channel this morning, Daydream About Nice Things, and there was someone on there talking about different additional insurance coverages. And I wish I had wrote down the names. And the Modern King is on here. That would be my son. Thank you for logging in. I appreciate it. And so making sure that things are covered, and that when we finally get on the road, that's one of my main priorities, making sure everything is covered. Let's see what else is going on. Yeah, specialized. Yeah, glad he's okay. But specialized tools are generally not cheap and not the quickest things to fix, to get back. Boo, boo, boo. So back to using what are considered grow channels as a tool. So I have about 3 that I've connected with that I really like, and I get substantive people that are coming over, watching my videos, are showing up in chats or connecting with me in other ways. And that's important. One watched a bunch of my watched all my live streams the other night just to boost my hours. I mean, I don't even know this guy. I just met him. And so that was really cool, that he was willing to do that. And I won't forget it either. So, yeah. And by the way, speaking of hours, last night I ran Roy and Becky's chunk of yours on so I have an iPad that I really don't use. My dad bought it for me when I graduated from college, either 8 or 10 years ago. My memory's going. Okay. So he bought it for me because I was going to graduate school. And so he bought that for me to help me out and give me a leg up. And so It's iPad 3, so it's a couple generations back. I think they're up on like 8 or 400, something like that. And so it's not as fast. It doesn't have all the gadgets. It's great. It's still very good, but I don't use it as much. So I've just got it in my bedroom, and so I'm running people's playlists, and so that's a good way for a good use for that right now. Um, I can only imagine Victoria. Oh, thank you, Victoria. Thank you. So I'm at 702 friends. I'm suspecting I'm suspecting I will reach 1,000 within 2 weeks. And then I can focus solely on content. And I have a bunch, and I'm going to do one today, work on one today. And then I believe that Richard and I are going to go for a drive tomorrow. Richard and I are going to go for a drive tomorrow to get some content. And so that is, so there's lots of places, lots of things within 50 miles of Eugene, Oregon. It, I find I was like up this till last night till 1:30 because some of these people, these channels are on other continents, the Philippines, even one from not where I think Norway, Norway, and adorable people, by the way. Kim in Ohio. That's what I'm going to do. Plain supportive people's playlist so that my gadgets will be helpful as well. Yes, I've got a few. So I've got a desktop sitting to my left, a laptop sitting in front of me, a phone sitting in my left hand, an iPad in my bedroom, and then of course Richard's phone, and it does not ring much, so we can use that at night too. So anyways, that's what's going on, and I'm tired, and by the time I reach 1,000, I'm probably going to be worn out and won't feel like celebrating. But I'm excited because I now know it's going to happen. Because when you first start out doing this, it doesn't seem like it's real. Like, oh, I'm never going to do that. That's not something that's going to happen for me. That's other people, smarter people, cuter people, funnier people. But it can be for anybody who puts their mind to it, is what I believe now. I firmly believe that. So sister has not shown up yet, and that would be Patricia Hemmerly. When you or I think her name is Olita Hemmerly. Well, it's Olita Patricia, but I think her name or her handle is Olita Hemmerly. So what I'm going to do in the meantime, and by the way, I'm going to be on Van Vita Travels Monday afternoon. Van Vita, do you want to come up for a minute and talk about your channel and what you're doing with this? Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a link in the chat because I can do that now. I know how to do it. Let's see, paste. And come up and talk about anything such as having people on or whatever. And then I'm also going to go ahead and just get ready for that. And Olita did enter the room, but if you want to come up for a few seconds, Van Vita, that's okay with me. We got an hour. Want to make sure I haven't missed anybody else. And again, so if y'all missed it, and I don't think anybody here has missed it, but in case you weren't on Roy and Becky Travels yesterday, so this is one of the funniest things. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nurse at our travel bug. Oh Lord, I don't even like thinking in those terms because you've got kids, you guys got real full lives. I've got me and Richard, and he's a big boy and he can handle himself. I can sit and focus 120% on this. And that's I'm doing this how I went to school. This is exactly how I got through school. And that's why I got A's pretty much. I think I got an A minus. I got nearly a 4 point. at the University of Oregon as a 50-year-old woman who graduated high school, listen close, with a 0.98 GPA. And I graduated from the University of Oregon at 50 with a near 4 point. I think it was like a 3.98, something like that. So, so yesterday on Roy and Becky Travels, Roy was talking about him and Scott and Mike had went for a hike, and they do their hike. It sounded like, and they were on their return trip, and sitting down, taking a little rest. And if anybody is in here that was on that hike, if you want to correct me, feel free. And then all of a sudden, one of them, and I think it was Roy, looks up and he sees not Bigfoot, but naked Bigfoot. There's a man in the middle of the forest. Out of nowhere comes a naked man. Oh, Scott, I can't wait to meet you. All of you. You guys you guys look like you have so much fun together, and you're just supportive of everybody. Nursing our travel bug. Everybody here. There's just nobody here that I don't want to meet. So that was a big piece of news. And I think what I'm going to do is, instead of doing the news at this point, because I can do that anytime. Oh, there's Van Vita. Come on. I'm going to ask. How are you?
I'm good. You caught me off guard. I have no makeup on. I had to quickly put my sunglasses on. Spare everybody that.
Oh, you look great, dear.
Well, thank you. It's the glasses.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Well, about a month ago, it was early in the morning because I'm Pacific Coast, and most of the people that I watch are East Coast. And somebody was needing, they were really wanting somebody to come up and talk about their channel, and I'm in my robe. My hair is like, well, it's not normal. And there's a hat. My son's University of Oregon hat is sitting there. I put that cap on and I went on. I did. Oh my God, it was horrible. But I got done what I needed to get done.
We share a lot more of ourselves on YouTube than I think we ever imagined when we started.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, I am so excited to have you on my channel on Monday.
Oh. I know. I'm excited. You're my first interview. You're the first person who has interviewed me.
Well, we'll be learning together.
Yes, we will, ma'am. Yes, we will.
It's going to be fun. We'll have some girl talk. I was listening to you and I was thinking, I wouldn't mind running across a naked man in the woods. I need to go on some hikes.
You're sitting there all tired and sweaty, and you think there's look over and there's an illusion. What is that? That's a naked man,
Actually, when I was younger, I lived in a bigger community in Regina, and I lived on a budget, so I didn't live in a really good area. And there was times I'd walk home from work, and I actually came across two different naked men doing different naked things by themselves. So the joke about the naked man's just a joke, right? Because that's really scary when you come across some of that.
Yes.
Especially as a woman, right?
Yes. I was a young lady, probably about 17, and I was at we have a shopping mall here, a big one called Valley River Center. And I was in the parking lot getting ready to go in, and this man in a leather coat come over and just opened up his coat. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't run. I started laughing like crazy. And he flipped that coat shut and ran off.
That is a good idea.
I couldn't help it.
You know what? You think about the perspective on these things. If it was a naked woman in the woods, I think a lot of men would have been really excited. But I don't think that kind of thing happens the same.
I don't.
Mm-hmm.
No, I do not.
I'd be like, she has some kind of mental illness. Let's get that girl some help.
Well, the first thing I thought is I wondered if somebody robbed him and took maybe he was skinny dipping and somebody took his clothes. Because that's the kind of thing I would have done to somebody when I was young. I'd grab. Thinking it
I
was
have done
funny.
something similar. We used to have the Big Valley Jamboree. It was several days. We'd camp out, we'd watch all these country music entertainers, and people would party all day and night, right? And I was walking back to my campsite and I saw a pair of jeans, men's jeans, laying on the grass, and I could hear some people getting it on in the tent next to it. And I picked up the jeans and I thought, that'll fit my cousin. I threw it over my shoulder and took it with me.
Oh my God.
Obviously, they were in a hurry if his pants were outside of the
That's
tent,
right.
right?
That's right. He should have been thinking clearer.
Well, he was focused on one thing, right?
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Oh, we are gonna have so much fun on Monday.
I think we are, dear. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it is what time again?
5 o'clock Central Standard Time.
Okay, 5 o'clock. So I think that's 3 o'clock Pacific time.
4 o'clock for you.
Oh, 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
I keep thinking 3, but I'd be early rather than late, you know.
If we were in the winter, then it would have been 3. Because my son goes to school in the province between you and I. Or like if you were in Canada, right? So there's a time range in between you and I. And I always remember spring forward,
Yes.
fall back. So that's how
Right.
it works for me to the west. So
Okay.
that's why right now in the summer we're only 1 hour apart.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's cool. I will be there at 4 o'clock on Monday. And if anybody else has nothing to do on Monday, 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock Central Standard Time, come and hang out with us at Van Vita's Travels.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too, dear.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. I think you can pull yourself down from there. Is there a...
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, that was fun. And again, Monday, 4 o'clock Pacific time, 5 o'clock Central Standard. And I am Patricia Hemmerly. I'm going to drop a link again for you, and then we will chat about about networking and a few other things, most likely. All right. Close that. Close that. There you go. Come down here. Paste. I've got it down. And hit the chat. All right, let's see what I've missed in the chat, which I hate to miss the chat. Meant to be RVing. Hello, thank you for coming. Glad you're here. And that, I think that went well, and I believe that it was my computer. So I've got a new computer. It is an HP laptop, finally. And it's one of the investments in my channel, in our channel. I'll call it our channel. Lucky Dog Productions moderator, thank you for coming today. I'm very happy you're here. All right, so Patricia Hemmerly, I have got the link dropped, and all you have to do is grab a hold of it and click it. And it's, it's saying reporter block. So just use your left side of your mouse and click it. You can't click. How come? Come on, Patricia. You can do this. Yeah, well, you're on your phone, so just go up to it, and where it says burning up the roads, and it shows the little, I'm trying to put it right in front of the camera. Well, there's the camera. Click right underneath of the yellow. Yes, you can do it. I do it all the time. So I dropped a link, Scott. So shouldn't she should be able to, because Paula just did it. She was able to click on, and she had a phone. If you're clicking on another moderator, that is the link she should be able to click on. Press and hold, Van Life Rock says. How come? I'm just curious. How come you can't touch and access? If you'd have drove into town in your red Corvette and come over, and you could have been right here and I could have interviewed you right here in the house. So we will just, while you're trying to do that, I'm going to take a look at the chat again. We've got 14 in the house. So you were on your laptop. I know, but I do it on my phone. I predominantly use my phone. Yes, she has a red Corvette. She has a red Corvette. She's disabled, and she probably can't even get down in it. But she bought it. She didn't have to do it, but she did. That kind of thing. Hey, Rayleigh Creative Travel. How are you doing today? Glad you're here. So in the meantime, I don't want to yell. It sounds to me like I'm yelling. Fordman, aka Kenneth Oakes. Glad you're here, dear. How's everybody doing today on this Thursday? Because we're coming up on weekend. And I know that for many people, it's a 24/7, 365 weekend. Not really, because if you're doing YouTube, if you're a creator on YouTube, it is 365 for the most part, I've found out. So, Papa Drew, are you still in the house? Because if you're in the house and would like to come up and talk about the reunion, that would be great. Would love that. Would very much like that. All right. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up, while Pat, my sister, is trying to figure this out, I'm going to pull up some funny stuff. I don't know what to say, Patty. I just don't know what's going on. Can you take a screenshot and just send it to me, and I can look at what you're struggling with? Because I in my head I can't figure it out. Thank you. Thank you so much for the congrats. You know, we all know how hard it is, and there's no it's just no way to tell. I took a month when my dad died. I took about a month off and didn't do anything except watch your all videos. I didn't want to do anything, and I kind of fell behind in my, I didn't care at that point. That was not what was most current in my mind. Hello, Thrifty Angela. How are you, dear? Hope you're having a good morning or good afternoon, wherever you're at. And so once I kind of got back into it and thinking about this, yes, Patricia, we'll do a test on it later and you can come on another day. Because she has a lot of good information about networking. It's what she did it was a big element of what she did for a living. So I'm going to leave that link in the chat, and it's up a little higher. If anybody would like to click on and come and chat, that would be fine with me. In the meantime, I'm going to put up some stuff that I think is funny as crud that I found. And last week, some of it's from last week that I did not get to show because I was on my crappy desktop that was not working. So we are going to look at a few funny news items from the 1960s. So here's a good one. I do have to find Pink Floyd. So the reason I brought this up is I think I saw some of these people in my dad's nursing home. I think I saw some of Pink Floyd in my dad's nursing home because that's about how old they are now. Oh, hello, Rory Nadav. You're new to my channel, but give me a minute here, and we'll talk. I don't know who you are, but we'll talk. So I was just thinking that kind of struck me, and then we'll do one more before I bring up my new friend here. Let's see. I have to remember every time. We are going to go to popular shows. 1960s slang. All right. So some of the slang from the 60s. Hipster, the hipsters, is something that's like a musical group was exciting and fantastic. They would be called Fab, like the Fab Four. And I don't know who they were. I think it was the Beatles. I could be wrong, but I believe that was the Fab Four. Um, if an event was righteous, it was fantastic. So that was righteous, man. Um, Groovy. I do remember that. It was out of sight and cool. Now, in the 70s, so I graduated high school in 1979. And so in my junior high years, the saying was, whoopee ding ding, it really psychs me out. And it would, the P word, it would really upset my mother when I would say that. Whoopee, so she would be unhappy with me. And I would say, whoopee ding ding, it really psychs me out. I was a little challenging as a child. As I mentioned on over on Roy and Becky's Travels, I was kicked out of Girl Scouts. Now, it may or may not have to do with bringing some alcohol to a Girl Scouting event at a camp out. It may or may not have. All right, so I'm going to put this down, and Drory Nadav, I'm going to hang on, Kenneth. I'm going to give me a thumbs up, Drory, and I hope I'm saying that correct. If you're ready to come up. All right. This is a new friend here. So, Drory, you're new to my channel. How you doing?
How you doing, dear? You got beautiful blue eyes.
Oh, well,
Uh,
thank you.
you're welcome. Sorry I don't have my makeup and I didn't shave or anything like that.
Well, you
Tell
look
Rita
great.
to bring my pants back. She took
What's
my
that?
pants.
Oh,
Rita took my pants out of the tent. I want it
okay.
back.
Oh, Paula, you got his pants. Maybe hold on to him for him. So I hope
Yeah.
you've got him on right now, though. That's all I care about.
There you go, hon. Yeah.
So, is your first time on my channel?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
What's your
well,
name?
welcome,
Lucretia?
Lucretia. And yes, you're pronouncing it right.
Okay. I got a heads up yesterday from Lori's way.
Okay.
And she mentioned she did an interview with you, so I clicked on your channel and subscribed. It's just nice bringing people together, and that's
Yes,
what I
sir.
used to do: host hangouts and send out the links. And I stopped doing that because people were getting really mean and all that. How you doing, Keely? Hello, everybody on the chat. So,
So,
what you say? I can't see Glory
what
in the
what is your
chat.
channel about?
Well,
What's your channel
I was
about?
used to be an over-the-road truck driver, and I collaborated with a lot of truckers, and then I morphed into like the Class Bs and all the what do you call it, the camp, all the camping stuff and Bob Wells and all that. So
Oh, yeah.
I seen it grow since 2014. I just seen it grow, the BLM land, and many people got into it, especially women started, buying
Mm-hmm.
vans, and it was very interesting because we're living in tough times. And in one more week, sad to say, a lot of people are going to be evicted from their homes because they already got their 30-day warning. And so, what other people? The other option is just living in your car. A lot of people are homeless all over America, Hawaii, and it's sad. So, I
Yeah.
started my channel and I used to do hangouts and bringing people together.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I enjoy it because a lot of people are camera shy, you know.
Yeah.
You seem like a natural at it. you know. So you're doing a good job, and it's just connecting with people. And just
Yes.
like Vita said earlier, you know, many people are meeting people through YouTube, and now they like to go cross country, and people opening up their homes and, you know, just sharing a lot of information. I live
Uh-huh.
in Clearwater, Largo, and I live in an RV park, Yankee Traveler. I'm
Hmm.
an open book, so feel free to ask me anything. And I was very passionate because I'm originally from New York, Queens, Flushing.
Hmm.
And the rates, I mean, went through the roof. I mean, what it costs to rent an apartment. So I used to do videos, and I would put up this kid that lived in, you know, in a van, and he went to Duke University. And I put a graph that he had on his website, how much it costs to live in an apartment versus to live in a van. And a
Uh-huh.
lot of people, they're trying to crunch the numbers and to save as much as they can, as we
Hmm.
all are. And he put like $600 it would cost him. Some people live on 400, whatever. So I'm like disabled, so I got a lot of times on my hands. But you know, I was in a bad truck wreck. I fell asleep behind the wheel,
Oh,
and so you know, I'm living life. And I bought a nice park model. I wanted to buy the whole park and just tell everybody to come down here because there's great rates, and everybody's into these small park models that are under 400 square feet,
hmm,
and the prices are raising. So I bought mine for like 13,000, and I got my brother's ex-girlfriend one for 2,500. So there's great deals. There's a guy that used to be on my hangouts. He moved and bought a fifth wheel in a park, and they loving it, and they thanking me. Wow, I can't believe, you know, because you got the
yeah,
beautiful Clearwater beaches, you got the sunshine, you know, but you got to be cooped up in AC, you know, because it's hot now during the summer months.
yes.
Go ahead, I'm
Well,
flapping my mouth. I mean, you can talk and ask me anything.
well, I just appreciate that you're sharing, and I have to tell you, people love your beard. You know, people
Oh,
love your beard very much so.
quarantine.
Quarantine, yeah. Well, we're in Oregon, and my husband and I are going to be going full time. That is my sole goal in life. January of 21 is to be,
God bless.
that's our goal. We're putting things in place. I need to say hi to a few people. Glorious Life on Wheels. Hello, glad you are here. And I also know I missed someone else. Bearded Hobby Homestead. Thank you for coming by. And if I've missed you, I'm so sorry. No, I'm going to bring someone else up. So you're going to, if you don't mind, I've got another person in the basement who'd like to come up
You
and,
put 10 people on. I think they upgraded it on StreamYards.
all
They
right.
used to
Yes,
have 6, but now you can have 10. So
I don't have any interest in 10 because one of the best moderators, Long Haul Lifesavers. Hello. Thank you for coming in. I'm one of the best. So Kenneth, I'm going to bring you up. Try to. And your mic is muted. Let me see if I can unmute it. There you
I got
go. How you doing?
I,
doing all right about yourself.
I'm doing very well, Kenneth. I'm very well. And so what are you up to today?
Oh, just been out traveling around.
Ah,
Yeah,
traveling around?
yeah. And
We,
went. The dad had to go to the doctor today, so
uh-huh.
uh,
Well, is it hot? Aren't you in like Alabama or South, what, in that area?
I'm in Kingsport, Tennessee.
Tennessee. I knew it was in the South somewhere.
Yeah,
Well, hot and muggy.
yes, it is
Yes.
hot. Like,
Well, we are beautiful here today in Oregon. It's going to be like, I think about 85 to 90, and there's a breeze. So I'm happy to see that because we are not interested in 100-degree weather, and we've had some 100-degree days. Let's see, and that Drury, as a matter of fact, I had to go to a couple of different parts of town this morning, and on street corners, and I have some issues with this because there are other places, but there's like camps, like three,
yeah,
four tents, um, and tarps and, I don't know what the answer is, but there has to be some people brighter than me figure it out, because no town wants to have their street corners covered in tents. It's just, it's, first of all, it's not healthy, as far as most of those people, many of those, I'm going to not characterize it that way. Some of those people are not doing proper toileting, and that's a fact of life. If you're living in a tent or in an RV, or if you're living in a travel trip, whatever it is you're living in, that's one of the issues that all people have. And so we have had issues here in town where their waste was not being disposed of properly. So we're trying to in Eugene come up with some options.
Yeah, but I'm not going to get into politics with you.
No.
People are divided right now. The whole country's divided. How you doing, Kenneth? Yeah.
Doing all right about yourself.
Glad to hear.
Mike and MJ's RV Adventures. Thank you for coming by. Glad you're here. Tootsie Rolling Stone Travels. Hey everyone, new here to your. Oh, Tootsie Rolling Stone Travels. New here too. Well, thank you for coming by. And while you're in the house, if anybody has not had the opportunity to hit the thumbs up, that would be really appreciated. If you like it, there's always a thumb down.
Definitely.
So
I forgot about that.
I think you're right on target, Drory, that the trying to find a way for everybody to live, and to live in a way that they're taking, we're taking care of ourselves is important. And people
Right.
are doubling up. We've got in our home here, I've got 2 roommates. Well, it's my husband, myself, and our 30-year-old son. And I'm disabled. I'm disabled as well. I've had like 11 back surgeries, 12 back surgeries in the last 10 years. I have a disease in my spine. Yep, I have a disease in my spine that is eating it alive. And so actually, my father, who died back in April, he was 94. He had a disease in his spine that actually caused him to. It was an infection that caused him to become paralyzed, and I'm terrified of it, because watching that happen was very hard, because he was a vital man even up into his 80s.
Sure.
He was working in his 70s as a master carpenter. So,
God bless him. Wow.
Yeah. So, anyways, we now have 2 roommates on top of the 3 of us living here. My son is my care assistant, and it's it helps. It helps to have a couple
Definitely.
roommates, and not asking much money, because that's not right either. Because I know.
If you contribute, then it helps. There was one case when the mother and father had to just evict them and get the law and evict her son out of it, because he didn't do anything, just sit around, didn't help, didn't contribute. There's a website, if you don't mind me mentioning, it's called Invisible People, where he does a lot, and he goes and he helped this girl that was living underneath the bridge. And there's one guy in Oakland that's trying to run for mayor, and he's homeless. He used to be a millionaire. And it's just to hear the people's stories across the country. It's very sad. Coming from a big city, I've seen this lady living on the streets, and I helped her, and I had a customer with me, and she was just like doing her private business on the street. And I was like, I moved to Arizona. 10 years have passed. I came back to New York, and I seen the same lady. Now you can ask me, well, how do you know it's the same lady? I noticed her. I saw her face, the clothes, everything. And I couldn't believe it. I said to myself, Jory, what do you ever in life have to complain about? If this woman lived 10 years on the streets, be quiet and enjoy what you have. And, and that's what it is. And it's sad to see that the numbers are growing. So
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. We can only wish for the best. I mean, I've been to Hawaii, and there's homelessness there too, and all over the country, So what are we going to do? You know, we can delay it, and try to give people a stimulus package, but that's not enough to cover, you
No.
know?
No. No. Kenneth, aren't you getting ready to go back to school here shortly?
I've actually just finished my first week of school
Oh,
already.
wow. I thought you were
So
okay.
I
Fine.
I finished it yesterday,
How did it go?
and I don't go back. It went good. The only thing I don't care for is having to do online lecture. I had to
Oh.
think a minute.
Okay.
Everything is online
Yes.
with as far as the lecture. Now we have hands-on labs, and that's the only time I get to be on campus is for the labs.
Right.
But anything else, it's all done online.
Well, you know, it's a tough time to be going to school. I don't care if you're in college or if you're in kindergarten, the whole gamut in between. Tough time to be in school. But Kenneth, you becoming a mechanic is amazing because, you know, if I broke down, like let's say I broke down on the side of the road, I wouldn't even know what to start looking at, you know. And luckily I have a husband that does know things and is capable of fixing basic, you know. Hey, 1 second, Forever Best Friend, hello. I love their chat. You know, Charlie Grace is adorable, and she does a dog show. Charlie Grace, could you put up exactly what kind? I'm not characterizing it correctly. It is an animal show. She collaborates with empaths. Another lady. I forgot her.
It's called Empath Embracing Life.
Empath Embracing Life and Forever Best Friend collaborate. Speaking of collaborations, and they do a dog show, and people come up and talk about their dogs and how what it's like having them on the road and whatnot, and it's really cool. And I am an animal person. I've got a 20-year-old beagle, and so we're traveling with her. Let's see what else we got going on here.
You go, young man. You got it now. Why, thank you, sir.
Okay,
Have a good day.
But
Yes, sir. Everything's in there. You're all
Charlie
set.
Grace is
Good day.
You too.
every Thursday Central Standard Time, Dog Talk at Dog Talk at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time on Tuesdays. So that's when I can. When I'm not doing my own show, I come over there at 11. So I'm just checking out the chat here. I'm kind of a controlling person. I like to look at my own chat and know what's going on, just because
You're doing a great job. You're moderating beautifully.
I invite everybody to come on over, and I want to, you know, I just want to be a good host. So, yep, couple new people in the chat today, which I'm always happy to see.
I don't know what to say. What would that be? What would that time be Eastern?
Okay, so if it's 7 p.m. Central, I believe it's 8 p.m. Eastern. I think you're an hour ahead of Central.
Okay.
Yeah, you're 3 hours ahead of me. You're Eastern.
Right.
So when I'm doing my show at 11, it's 2 o'clock there. But Central, there's an hour in between. And I think so. Making sure here. Long Haul Life Saves. Let's see. Long Haul Life Savers. Thank you. And I, you know, long haul. Anybody who is a truck driver, doing that frontline work, I absolutely respect completely, because first of all, it's not the easiest work in the world. I thought one time I wanted to become a truck driver, but I didn't just want to become a truck driver. I wanted to become an ice road truck driver. I
Yeah,
fell
I
in
have a
love
few
with the,
friends that've been up there,
oh,
you
I
know.
would, I can't wait to go someday.
That's what I do today. I try to teach people because truck drivers are essential workers.
Yes.
And I taught a few people and I sent them to Prime Incorporated. They don't hire out of Florida, but I even taught one girl that I met online and I said, listen, she says, I need a place to live. I can't live in my car. I said, go to Prime. I didn't know that they check blood pressure. You know, she was a heavy set gal, and
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that. I know they do DOT tests as far as like urine, make sure you're not on drugs. But
Uh-huh.
she's now driving with a train, and she's happy. She's got her CDL. So a lot of people that are looking for jobs, they might not love trucking, but you get to be a paid tourist to travel the country and see this gorgeous country,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's like a brotherhood among truckers. And I'm friends with a lot of people on Facebook, a lot of female that became truckers. I would hear some of these old timers says, hey lady, your place is in a kitchen. I said, hey, listen, she's free to do whatever she's want. And more women are trained, and they behind an 18-wheeler. They call them condos where they got two sleepers. You know,
Uh-huh.
so a lot of husband and wives, they go where they train, because whether they call you a steering wheel holder, whatever, it doesn't matter. You're getting to see the country. You're working for the Fortune 500 companies. You're getting paid great money, a lot better
Mm-hmm.
than what I got paid back in the day, and close to 50 cents a mile, 48 cents. Just
Wow.
sitting holding a steering wheel.
Yeah.
And, you know, Caleb Best used to be Van Dweller. He was friends with Wanderlust Estate, who stayed in my RV park. He stayed in one of my park models, him and his girlfriend. And, you know, he became a truck driver with his girlfriend, Caleb Best. He got rid of the van, and, you know, so we'll see.
Cool. Well, you know,
Not
one
for
of the, I
everybody.
have to correct myself. So, long haul lifesavers are traveling nurses. We have actually a couple traveling nurse couples. Well, so another one that is on here, it is Nursing Our Travel Bug. His wife is a traveling nurse, and
Okay.
they 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 homeschool their kids. They're able to take these children to places that I'm at 58 never got to see, and that's one of the reasons I want to go on the road is I want to go see these places. But as far
Yeah.
as one of the reasons I figured it probably wouldn't be truck driving would not be for me is because I know that it's not good for backs. If you have back problems, and mine is not ever going to be good, like it's never going to be healed. There'll always be, it'll always be trying to eat me alive. So, you know, I just can't do that. And going on the road, we can travel at our own pace. You know, we can hit these places and spend a little bit of time and go somewhere else later. So and I'm looking at, originally thought that we were going to, so I just wanted to go. I just decided that's what I wanted to do.
Good for you. It's a great.
And I was going to get one of those extended vans, you know, like a 3E or like a 350,
Yeah.
Econoline, and build it out. I saw one that was beautiful. It was like a little tiny high-end apartment. It had running water. They had a toilet. You could actually shower in there, not standing up, but they had it fixed. They had it tricked out. And I thought, that's
Oh
my
yeah,
van.
it's expensive.
But
There's a
but
company called Sportsmobile in California that they have over 100 vehicles in their shop. They're being worked on, customized. But I made a video where I own a conversion van, and a conversion van is a lot cheaper. And I did the basics comparisons between a road trek and a regular van, you know. And it has a lot of things there, amenities. It has, you know, the walls insulated, but it's a lot cheaper. You can get a beautiful conversion van for less than 10,000. You
yes.
know, I have AMC, and it's gorgeous, and it's got a TV, everything. It's got an electric bed. Now, a lot of people like Lulapalooza and other people that have the electric bed, it's not as comfortable as a real bed, you know. So they take out the seats, they're quick removals, and you know, you just
Yeah.
put in a regular bed, a queen size bed, whatever, and you convert it to what you like. The whole key that I'm trying to get to is portable. A lot
Yes.
of people remodel their RVs because it's fixed, the cabinets and everything.
Uh-huh.
Now I was just listening to Brian. He did a hangout. He's off air now, but his van needs a transmission. He likes the old school type of old vans,
Do we?
but they're making great vans that are really efficient on gas. And I would say go with a used one. Go into U-Haul, pay them $19 for the day, take the signs off, repainted it, and you get a van for $19. No, don't listen to people. I'm a New Yorker, but your mind goes, hey,
I
either
know.
spend $3,000 for a transmission or get a van from U-Haul for $19.
Right.
Nomadic Fanatic did that when his van was down, and went camping with Camper Van Kevin and a lot of other people. I didn't get a chance to meet him. He used to be on my hangout. Also, there's a beautiful documentary. You probably know him. Without Bounds, it's called. You
Yes.
know. So
Yep.
it's a great documentary, and that's what it is: spreading the word and giving some kind of outlet, depending on what people got in their pocket to spend, and not to freak out. Like, should I get a tent? Should I get a Class C? Because I heard you say that you like a Class C where you don't have to go out the side door; you can go right in the front door, put it in gear, and
Mhm.
just you don't like the neighborhood, just go.
Yep.
But
That's the nice
it's
thing about having
beautiful.
your it's a nice thing about having your driver's seat right close to your bed. If something's going on,
Yeah,
you can get in your driver's seat and you can go away. Um, I actually I need to take this down, this banner, because Kenneth's face is covered up. Oh, there you go. Now I can see Kenneth. Um,
Bet.
the I've looked at Class C's. You can get a Class C, an old, because we're gonna have to get an older one that's gonna need some work. Blah blah blah. Which we can do. Um,
right,
but I'll tell you what I found is I found a Class A that it really looks beautiful on the inside, and it doesn't even look awful by any stretch on the outside. And but it's 35 feet. It has
right,
a king size bed, and but the problem with it is they're selling it for $800 because it was parked someplace, and it was belonged to a grandfather, and people were
right.
stealing parts off the engine, so it needs
Wow.
most likely a new engine.
Wow.
Yep.
I had
It's
a
I
diesel pusher, and I bought a Class A, and I loved it. And people say, well, the brakes are going to seize if you just keep it in an RV park and you're not driving it. The
Uh-huh.
whole bus, air ride, diesel, Allison transmission, all the heavy duty. But I said to myself, as I went looking around the clubhouse, I said, oh, signs over here and there for park models. So a lot of Canadians are coming down south, whether it's Florida, Arizona, anywhere, and they're buying these properties like crazy. Even though they're allowed to stay 6 months, no more. Some of them tell me, Jory, what's the sense for me to pay a whole year rent when I'm only allowed by law to stay here 6 months? But I went East Coast to Miami on the other side, all over. They don't even speak English; they're French,
Oh,
and all the places. So the bigger the unit, like Bob Wells says, you have to be plugged in, so to speak. And the whole key thing is to really boondock and to be stealthy, you know? Now, a
yeah.
cop knows if you're living in there, if you got a roof, if you got AC running or generator hanging outside. But the thing is to get away from the RV parks, you know, and to be able to be free and go everywhere, either join Thousand Trails, but to be able to be mobile. And some people
Right.
don't want to be mobile. They want to get their mail. There's ways to get their mail. They want to fix the dress. But, to me, I pay $450 rent. When I moved down here 5 years ago, I paid $385. Okay. So they raised it 10% each year.
Yeah.
With electric that also you pay for, that's another $100, you know. So but you can't beat it. The deals that they have, these tiny homes or these park models that are under 400 square feet. So my van is a backup, you know.
Mhm.
So you
The
got to pick. So
you,
sorry, go
you
ahead.
mentioned, that's all right. You mentioned Bob Wells, and there's so many. What I've learned is there is so many options for people today, whether it be a van or it be so there's a girl that I watch once in a while. I used to watch her all the time, but she lived in her car, and
Yeah.
she's a young lady. I would say she's like around 30. But there's another woman who is like 61 or 62, and she was living in a sedan, and she had it really laid out well. And then she just was able to buy this last fall, I think it was, a Toyota SUV, and she's
Right.
choosing to live in that. My suspicion is, as well as her channel's doing, and I think she has some other income, she could probably get a Class C, a smaller Class C, or a small van where she could stand up. But she's doing okay. She's all right with it. I can't do that because of my back issue. As I've come to, I just had another fusion a year ago, and I had to have all the hardware taken out recently. I need to be able to stand up. So thinking about things like, and I need either a walk around bed or we need twin beds, because neither one of us are in a condition that we're crawling over each other.
I understand. Yeah.
Yeah. Kenneth, I just wanted to ask you, do you get to travel much? Are you getting out to see your area even?
So yeah, somewhat. But you know, still with everything that's been going on, there's a lot of things that's still not open yet.
True.
And it's still and we still kind of with the numbers still being high here. We've been trying to stay. Me and Dad both have been trying to still stay cautious about being around a whole lot of people.
Sure, I understand that. It's it's scary, and I'm in a high risk group. Hold a second. So Nomadic Rat Pack says burning up the road. Somebody probably just stole the alternator or carburetor off it. Stupid stuff like that. It probably runs and drives. These people said it does not. It actually has to be towed. So I would have to have a place to put a 35-foot RV, and I do not. We had a 20-foot RV that belonged to my nephew here for a while, a travel trailer, and it was really, when they brought it here, and parked it on the side of the house, and you have to have a way to get back out. So his wife, his fiance, was a truck driver. She actually had her CDL, I believe. And what she did is they took the other end of our fence off around our house and drove through the backyard and out the other fence. It was so funny. And through the front yard and back down on the street. I mean, it was hysterical. I videotaped it. So anyways, let's see what's going on here. We're going to go, Kenneth, Richard and I are going out this weekend or tomorrow probably to one of the parks that are within, I would say, 60 miles to 100 miles of Eugene, and we're going to do some videotaping. We're going to get some content because I don't want to be around. I'm not as afraid, but Richard is. He is afraid of, really afraid. I'm really not. I'm just not.
Afraid of what?
Of COVID, of that big illness. I just would rather, Renzo Poe. So you're new to the channel. Renzo Poe, I don't think. Well, thank you for coming by. Thank you for coming by, and a shout out to you for stopping in. I'll come and check your channel out after I'm done here.
Thank you.
So yeah, we're getting close. Yeah, we're actually over by a few minutes. I don't know if anybody's coming on after me. I actually have the channel guide somewhere. Today is Thursday, and it looks like the next person coming on after me is Ardez Car Life. She is coming on at 5 o'clock Eastern. So 2 o'clock my time. So anyways, I'm just glad that y'all came by today. And I got to meet a new person, Drury, and now this other person. I really appreciate it. It's fun to get to know new people, and I'll be over and check your channel out, Drury. And did I say your last name correctly? Nadav, or is it Nadav?
Yeah, I'm from the Holy Land. I won that name in a raffle.
And
all right, Lucretia, I'm going to go, and thank you for letting me come up, and thank you, chat. God bless, stay safe, and enjoy the journey.
You too, dear. Hope to see you again. Bye-bye.
Likewise. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good seeing you. Nice meeting you.
Isn't it? It's much nicer to meet people where you get to talk to them, like face-to-face kind of, Kenneth. Yeah. I love that. And I'm also working on putting together, so I have the paid version of StreamYard, and I'm going to do some overlays. I've just got to figure it out, and I'm trying to do it on my own, but I'm not doing a very good job of it. The RV DJ wants to come up too for a minute. All right, give me a thumbs up if you're ready. We're going to run over here a little bit, but I think that's okay. Well, hello. How are you today?
How are you?
Hello, RV DJ.
Hello, Kenneth. How are you?
Doing good. About yourself?
Oh, not bad. I'm doing this on my phone, so if I look a little funky, it's because I'm looking at the.
Yeah, that's why I'm having to do mine, because my PC has decided to go kapooey. So I have no PC now.
Oh no. So I didn't really, I've had laptops before, but I've had many laptops. This one is a 17-inch screen, or 17 and a half, so that I can do editing on it and everything. Because this has ran very smooth today. But if you've been in my chats the last few weeks, when I tried to bring people up, or I tried to show, the funny, headlines and pictures, it just did not work. And so I was able to get this laptop, and didn't have to pay for it all at once, but I got it, and it's going to be an investment for my channel, for our channel. So what are you up to these days, RV DJ?
Well, my channel is I own a DJ business, which is seasonal. It's not full time. I do have a 40-hour regular full time job that I do work, but we're currently furloughed because of the virus. But from April through November, I DJ at 6,000 trail parks down in South Jersey.
Oh, 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so that usually means I'm doing a double every Saturday. And then usually on the holiday weekends, I'll do one on Sunday. So I'm doing about, 2 to 3 gigs a weekend during the summer. And that usually starts in November around Easter and goes right through till the beginning of November. Unfortunately, because of the virus and stuff this year, and they weren't allowing entertainment, and because of the restrictions on get-togethers and stuff like that, I got a late start this year. I didn't start till like the beginning of June, so I lost a few gigs. Nobody's fault. I get it. So I was upset, but I wasn't too upset. I knew it wasn't anybody's fault. And this year, luckily, Thousand Trails, because I have a seasonal site at one of the campgrounds where my camper is. They're extending the season for us for a couple of weeks, right into the middle of November.
Good.
So, plus they gave us a credit for the time that we lost from April to the beginning of May. But yeah, I DJ during the summer on weekends, and I usually drive a school bus. I work for a school bus company during the week. In a perfect world. So my video, my channel is obviously RV because I have a camper and I work at the campgrounds and I'm a DJ. So I'll put videos up, doing my gigs and the time that I had that we weren't doing anything, I went to a couple of parks, went to do the Cape May Whale Watcher boat and stuff on the Jersey Shore. And so every week it's something different. I usually do about one video a week because I'm still fairly new at it. And I haven't done any lives yet. So I'm working on it. I'm getting there.
Well, you know, this illness has really screwed the country up bad, the world. You know, it's cost billions, probably trillions. I don't know. I'm just talking, but it you know work. It's messed with people's jobs. It's messed with people's. My father passed in April. We had to sneak into the cemetery when they brought his casket to put it in. Nobody's supposed to be there.
Wow.
That's how controlled it is in Oregon. And but we had like 30 people there. We were not letting that happen without us being there. And we were at a distance from it. It's public property. They couldn't stop us from coming there, by the way. And my dad would have done it for me, but we've never been able to have a full memorial or something like that. And many thousands of people have gone through the same thing. Their loved ones have died. Right? They couldn't even go be with them. So
they couldn't go to the hospital. They couldn't. Nothing.
I have a niece, a grown adult niece. She's not a child, but she had to have close to what would be considered brain surgery. They had to go up into the bottom of her spine in her head area and work on her. Her parents could not be there. Yeah.
Wow.
So it sucks. I'm just going to be straightforward. This really messes with YouTube channels, which is the bottom of the, it's messed with lives. It's messed with jobs, blah, blah, blah. So, but I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad you stopped by the channel today. I really am.
This is, and it's funny because this whole being on camera thing is usually not me, and that's weird coming from somebody who is an entertainer using a microphone. And I'm still like I'm getting more comfortable with it, but I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Hey, so I'll do a lot of stuttering, and it's like.
Well, I originally was never long haul lifesavers. I'm glad you stopped by. Sorry, I got confused. You are traveling nurses, so I absolutely, my hat. If I had a hat, it would be off to you. I appreciate every time I go and I have my phlebotomy done. I have to have my blood checked frequently because of a medicine I take. I thank those girls because I'm just grateful somebody's there to do it. So thank you for coming by today, and thank you for being a frontline worker. So I was never going to get up on camera, and I was terrified. And then I was on with Box Van D. She was actually on Blue Wave Odyssey's show, and she was never going to go. She said she was never going to go up on camera. Well, do her own show like this, live streams. Let me rephrase that. She was never going to do live streams. Well, within a week, she did a live stream. And I thought, oh my, and I knew she was truly scared. She was not excited about it. I thought, I'm not a wallflower. I'm really not. I am an extrovert, but I'm also someone who can stand back and watch. No problem. Other people do. If I really couldn't do this, I could have just watched other people do it and did our content. Well, I thought, that's really foolish. I know how to be on camera. I had to do it for college because one of the, criteria is that you be able to speak in public and you be able to do camera, blah, blah, blah. So I forced myself, and it wasn't comfortable, but there's like a semi in our driveway, Richard. And we don't live somewhere there should be a semi in our driveway. And I'm talking a big rig.
Wow.
Okay. So anyways, just somebody turning around, and trust me, turning around in my driveway is not. Yeah. Okay. So it's not
coming
easy
for coffee.
for coffee. apparently he works. Apparently he lives on this street. I didn't know it, you know. So anyways, I did get over my fear. It's not been the easiest thing, but I want to have a good channel and I want to do lots of different things. So it's taken that ability just to think outside of my own fears.
Right. And luckily, thank God, you know, I was able to collect unemployment from my day job and start getting, working on my business and stuff. So I used YouTube. I started it once we were able to, start doing entertainment. And so the channel is only a few months old. I have 159 subscribers. And just by networking and going to other people's, travel or RV channels. And I've met a lot of great people, and I actually have a handful of people that are willing to help me when I finally do my first live.
Oh, good.
So, yeah.
Good. The woman that I interviewed a few weeks back, Lori's Way, she did her first live. Now, and I remember when she did her first, just doing her first video, she was terrified. And how someone with that kind of fear, people, we can come farther than we think we can if we just push ourselves a little bit. And hello to Susan at New Horizons. Glad you were able to get here. And let's see.
I was that kid in school, when you had to go up to the front of the class and read your essay.
Oh.
I was that kid that would rush through it just so I could go back and sit back down again, because that was me.
I did not like academics in school. When I was young, I was an athlete. I was an exceptional athlete. I did field events. I was a javelin thrower. I was a javelin thrower, discus. I did the shot put, but all of my efforts were put into music because I sang and I played the flute and the saxophone. And so all of my efforts at standing out were behind something. I had my discus, I had my javelin, I had, in a choir. But back in the 1970s, when I was doing school, I just don't remember much about having to go up in front, because I could tell you I would have wet my pants probably. I'd have probably peed my pants. I would never, they'd have had to drag me up there. And but nowadays, in our current modern educational system, they're putting that right in from preschool on up, where you learn how to work with other kids in a group. You go up and learn how to speak in front of your class. And eventually, as years pass, I think it's a good thing.
And as the months go on, I slowly get used to, when I'm doing a video or shooting something for a video, putting the camera on me as opposed to just shooting what's in front of me.
Right.
It's getting there. I'm not in any rush.
No.
And it'll eventually get there, but I'm working on it.
Well, it can take time, and that take all the time you need, because you want to be comfortable, as opposed to needing to rush through it and just, it not working out very well. Chewy Limited, do I still play? I do not play any longer. I would not want to play the flute again. I loved the saxophone. And but those have been long gone for decades. I could probably pick the sax up and play something. And I played the organ. I saw what I was going to be when I grew up was a country western star. I wasn't going to be a singer. I wanted to be a star. And so my mother bought equipment for me, and for some reason thought that the organ was part of that. And I learned to play the organ somewhat, enough to be able to work with my singing, and took singing lessons and all that kind of stuff. So Susan, no, there's a person. Live streams don't bother me as much as they used to. Well, your live streams are wonderful. You're always so elegant, and everything is just right, spot on. And I love your live streams because there's a consistency about them. That's it. There's a consistency. Yes, Kaylee, go big or go home. When I was young, if I got when I was in sports, if I got a second or a third place ribbon, I threw them away. My mother always got them, and I still have all my ribbons because eventually, when I grew up, I realized, second and third, there was nothing wrong with second place ribbon. You cannot be perfect. I cannot be perfect at every, I'm never going to be perfect at anything. And so I just did it again. I looked way up above the computer because I'm used to looking up higher at the camera, and the camera's not even there. It's just, it's the stand. See, getting used to it, getting used to something new. Today I want to learn how to do things right. I want to learn how to do editing. Okay, so I don't know about anybody else in the room right now. If anybody is in love with editing, raise your hand. Do a thumbs up, because I'm really curious if I'm the only oddball that is not in love with editing. Once I'm doing it, I can do some things like really quick, but there's a couple of things. I look at people who are like experts, and that's my problem. And I want to do everything like they do it.
Right.
And then, whoops, I knocked something off the table.
I use two things. I use my cell phone, and I use this knockoff $70 GoPro action camera that I bought off of Amazon because I wasn't going to blow $500 on a GoPro. I couldn't justify it.
No, I can't either.
And everybody tells me, "Wow, you shot that with that," and I said, "Yeah." And then I said, "Well, this part is my phone." And they're like, "Well, we really can't tell the difference. Like, they both look really well, So
I'll tell you, right now we shoot everything with my phone. It's a Samsung of some sort, and it's nothing high end by any means. But and we do have a knockoff GoPro that Richard bought at Bimart, and we have to really learn how to use it. But we bought it a few months ago, and we still have not really integrated it into our videos. But I think tomorrow when we go out to go on our day trip, we will take it with us and we'll see what we can do with it. Because if not, then
it'll just sit there.
It'll just sit there. It'll just sit there. But I see people with cameras and with drones. And little did I know, if you're using a drone in your video and you are monetized, you have to have your drone license.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I looked it up for myself. I didn't take this, although the person who I heard it from yes, Kenneth is very quiet. Kenneth is so I'm going to shut my mouth for a second. Kenneth is one of the sweetest people that I have seen on YouTube. He is one of the most mannerly young men I've ever seen, I've ever met in any manner. Kenneth, you are genuinely a sweet, mannerly young man. What would you like to say, Kenneth?
Thanks for that compliment.
It's real. I mean it.
But I am going to jump off of here because I have to get in my truck and go home.
Okay.
And guys, if you don't mind me plugging, check out my channel, the RV DJ, and help me grow as much as you're willing to help me grow.
Yep.
And I'll be back and checking everybody out.
Okay.
So anybody that loves me, I will return the love.
Thank you. And could one of my moderators drop her link, please? The RV DJ. And also Drory Navid. I forgot. Unless somebody's thinking ahead for me, because I've got a couple of really good moderators. But thank you, and I know that we'll see you again, and I will be over to check out some more stuff.
All right. Thank you.
All right, dear. You have a good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, Kenneth, is there anything you'd like to chat about? Something? Have you done any? I had something in my mind, and it's gone now. So why don't you let's hear what your plans are over the weekend.
I'm gonna have to do some studying and gonna be doing some home. Probably gonna be doing some cooking at home and things.
Okay. You know, you can do a home. Okay. So one of the things I like to do, oh, boom, hold on. I have to interrupt myself. Boom Music Room is one of the people that I've ran across on the channels I was talking about. And I don't remember which one. And has got some great stuff over there. Honestly. So, and see, there you go. I met him in what's considered a grow channel, and here he is on my live stream. So thank you for coming over. And that's another thing I didn't just take everybody's word for. I understand the principle of why they're not sometimes the best ideas. But the fact of the matter is, I've met people who are coming to my live streams, coming to my videos. So there's something really positive coming out of that 40 hours a day effort that I've been putting into it. So you could do a video on a meal that you make. I do that.
Do a cooking vlog
Yes.
on something that we make.
Oh, yeah, we do. We make pancakes and soups.
But there's several cooking vlogs that on my channel that has got where Dad has made some pone cake.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Made stews and all kinds of different things.
I like to use pork roast because you can use pork roast as a base for so many things. Like you could use it as a roast, or you could cut it up and use it in a Cuban stew. I love Cubans to make Cuban stew. I love the flavors that are involved in that, or turn it into something from a Mexican stew. There's just, we get like a big, usually when we go, let me get my hand in here. Let's see, wrong hand. This really confuses me. So we get a giant pork loin roast, and we usually cut it into 3 sections, and for like $12 or even less than that. And then we'll make 3 different kinds or 4 different kinds of meals out of it. But one of our roommates here is a vegetarian, kind of does eat some fish, and but I try because yeah. Oh, by the way, Susan wants to know, where are your glasses, Kenneth? Oh, wait, that's the wrong one.
I got them put up right now.
Okay. Well, she was wondering. And there's my son behind me. And so I'm not a bird person as a pet. I never thought, they're not, it's kind of, to me, it's kind of like how I don't necessarily see certain sports as sports. I didn't see birds as like pets, but this bird behind me is so dang sweet. He talks, and as it turned out, it's a she. And you know how we found out she's a she? After our roommate had her for a year, she started laying eggs. So the bird he thought was a he is a she. Little tiny eggs she started laying.
That's a beautiful and cute bird.
Yeah. So
what kind of bird is it?
A rare fancy parakeet.
It's called a rare fancy parakeet. And then here's our other, come here, Czar. Come here, Czar. Here's my other friend. I got to show him to you. Czar, turn around here. Czar. Hey, buddy. Isn't he handsome?
Beautiful dog.
Thank you.
What kind of dog is that?
Half German Shepherd, quarter Belgian Malinois, quarter Wolf.
He's a good boy. And then our little Patty cake. Patty, you want to say hi? Nope. She's going to be difficult. So, oh, there she is. Hold on. I got to show her. Go, Patty. Although I will tell you, she's the big dog in the pack. She is not a little wallflower. That dog, she barks like she's losing her mind, and she bosses the big dogs around. She bosses the big dogs around. So let's see how many are still in the room. And since Bob's Adventures on Wheels, thank you for coming by. We've got 13 still here. We've had 27 so far. Yes, Kaylee, little dog, big attitudes. And that's my experience. I had a poodle for 15 years. And a friend of ours, of my mom's, would bring over Great Danes. She was a Great Dane rescuer. and she would bring over the Great Danes, and we would have to lock the poodle in a bedroom because she would go after the Great Danes. She really was a bad. She was a. If she had been a big dog, we couldn't have had her because she was just too aggressive. So, is there anybody else who might like to come up and chat? How about Boom Music Room? Would you like to come and chat about your channel? I'd love to have you come up. Or anybody else. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just go for, we've been on here an hour and a half. I'll go about maybe 15 more minutes because there's nobody until 2 o'clock. And there's still
I
some
know
people.
our Des comes on at 4 Eastern.
I'm going to paste this link one more time. See if anybody'd like to come up here with Kenneth and I and chat about whatever's going on. Share something about your channel. Bob, I haven't talked to you. I haven't been able to see your channel in a while, and I know you've made some changes. Would you like to come up and chat? The link is there.
I'm also gonna hopefully maybe see if I can figure out about getting a laptop.
So when I went to a community college before I went to the University of Oregon, which, by the way, I'm heartbroken because there's not going to be a football season for them. And they're really, I love the Oregon Duck football team, and they won the Rose Bowl this last year. By the way, they're winners. Ava Potterfield, thank you for coming by. I don't know if I got to say hello to you, but I noticed you were here. But if anybody would like to come and say hello, say hello. Get up on screen for a few minutes, talk about your channel. Not at the moment, working on research for tomorrow's guest. Cool, I get that. So Monday, I've got a guest coming on, and before I tell you, let me finish with Kenneth here. So Kenneth, when I was in college, they would allow us, because I got some financial aid when I was in college, and on top of the financial aid, they would let us buy a computer, be it a laptop or a desktop. And I don't know where you go to school if they have that as an option.
Yeah, I do have that option, but the thing of it is that the laptops that they have, they don't have a webcam, so I wouldn't be able to do like my StreamYard or anything like that on it.
You could get a camera and plug it into the laptop.
Yeah.
I mean, the camera that I got was $25.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it wasn't the greatest camera, but it did the job. It was fine.
And I'm also waiting for it to come in through the bank.
Okay, sure.
I'm supposed to be. It's supposed to be coming in through the bank, but what it is, you have to wait. You have to be able to attend your classes, I think, like 2 weeks before financial aid will even kick in at the bank.
I know. I went through that for 4 years, and yep. It was helpful, obviously. So I'll tell you a little bit about my guest on Monday that I'm so excited to have, Carrie from The Art of RVing. Mark and Carrie, I could study Mark's work and never learn even 1% of his work. And Carrie's part of that team. And she's going to be on my show on Monday. I'm very, very excited for that. I'm going to get a thumbnail out early. I need to get a picture that I want included and get it going. So I have my Patreon banner running. I think I'm going to do a little video about that and let people know what is it optional in it and how it works. And, it was a mystery to me for a long time here. But so many people have them. I've got 2 patrons. They're both related to me. One is my little sister Priscilla and the other is my son. But that's okay. That's okay. They wanted to help me. Just It's an emotional support more than it is anything else. And we're going to do some fun things like going to help me, help us. And I say me, but me is me and Richard. Okay. He's really not the on-screen person. He doesn't apparently care for this part. So I'll be doing probably most of this, but anyways, our Patreons are going to help us develop, work with our channel. They're going to help us develop our channel. I see people who have producers, for instance, that help them with their channel, which is great, and it works on screen for them, and that's kind of the support they need. Well, I don't really need that. What I need is some help behind the scenes working on building the channel in other ways. And so that's what Patreon, we're going to have a once a month meeting to get together and chat about what things we could do to make the channel more attractive to people, or what we need to not do. So that's for Patreon. And then here is the PayPal. There have been a couple people who recommended that because not everybody wants to sign up for and be involved in Patreon. And so we offer that too if people want to support the channel in that manner. If you don't, that's fine too. I get it. There's 2 people that I support with $2 a month now, and that's what I can do. So Boom Music, around to see you again. Okay. Well, I'm glad you came by today, Boom Music Room. Maybe someday I can get you on and do an interview with you. We can chat about that. Go ahead.
Thanks for allowing me to come on, but I'm gonna have to leave.
Okay, Kenneth.
We'll talk to you later.
All right, dear. Well, you have a great day, and Papa to have a great day too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So back to just me. And again, we're going to take up a few more minutes of time. We got a few 11 people left in here. And I would love to have another person come up and talk about their channel if that's what you would like to do. I really didn't like doing it in the beginning. Now I love to, when I've got something to talk about. Let's see what else is going on. Boom Music Room will be coming on Monday. I had 3 people in here from the Guru channels. So I'm not averse to them any longer. I'm not averse to them as long as it's done the right way. There's no sub for sub. It's not worth it. I understand what the downfall with that is. We need people watching our videos, coming to our live streams, and I want to do the same for other people. And so that's and I'll tell you what, I believe, Kim in Ohio, she's in Ohio, so she's 3 hours ahead of me. Let's see, what else? What else is there to talk about today? Let's do a couple more funny things till we see if anybody, funny pictures. I've been waiting to do these pictures forever. All right, so pictures of children. Poor little thing. This little girl right here. Can you imagine what she says to her family after, when she was in high school or when she was out of high school? That poor little haircut there. I'll tell you, I've had those pictures. Someday I'll pull one up. I'll pull one up. First of all, I was a tomboy, guys. I was a tomboy. I played with the boys. I played football with the boys. I lifted weights with the boys. I was a tomboy. I didn't really care for girls. I had 5. There I was doing it again, looking at a camera that doesn't exist. I had 5 sisters. I have 3 living sisters now. I have lost 2. My oldest sister, Linda, and my 3rd oldest sister, Annette. And I know that poor little thing, and those glasses, I just love that picture. It is a very sweet picture. So we have these pictures in our family is all I can say. I'm not laughing at them. I'm laughing with it because I know what these look like. Let's see. This one right here. Oh, I love this one. So this one is explaining parent-teacher conference back in 1969. Explain the bad grades to the kid. Over here today, explain the bad grades, yelling at the teacher. Yelling at the teacher. I don't know. It seems wrong. It seems wrong. And then we've got a couple more. Let's check them out. Check them out. Okay. Here's one. Oh, that's the same one. Poor little thing. We're going to get rid of that one. All right. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. That. Okay, this is something. So I'm going to bring this one up. Popular TV shows of the 60s. And there we go. So I loved all of these shows. Bonanza. Who did not love Hoss Cartwright? How do I remember the name Hoss Cartwright from, I'll never forget the name. I think there was Little Joe and there was Hoss. Those are the only two I remember. Oh, Geo's Travels. No, Geo's Travels. Not in this particular stream, but keep coming back and maybe we can talk about your channel and what it's about. And we don't just give out jackets like that, but please keep coming back and we'll get to know you and then that could happen. So, let's see, burning up. Oh, okay. So, then we have, of course, Andy Griffith. That was primary. Hogan's Heroes. And I had the biggest crush on Bob. His first name is Bob. Can't think of his last name. I love this guy. No, not Bob Eubanks. No. Okay. The 2020 sweatshirt. The 2020 sweatshirt picture. Kaylee, I'm not sure what that is, honey. I'm a little confused. I don't know what the 2020 sweatshirt. So, and then we had Gunsmoke. Oh, and the Beverly Hillbillies. I love them. And I know his name is Max Bear. I believe he's still alive. And Grandpa Hillbilly, love that guy. And Grandma, she was a tough lady. Gunsmoke, watched a little Gunsmoke. Get Smart. Now, the reason I love Get Smart is remember his shoe phone? It reminded me of the first cell phones that looked like shoes. They were big, giant cell phones like this and huge. My sister Patricia actually sold them. Richard did too for a short time. And one time when we were in at a Dairy Queen, we just went in to Dairy Queen and the windows were down. It was summer and what I texted you earlier today. Okay, let me look that up, Kaylee. And someone stole it right out of our car, but it was so big, who wouldn't have seen it? They're giant. Okay, Kaylee, I'm going to look at text real quickly here. Here we go. Oh, yes, that would be a great one. All right, so let me think of, do I need to save it? How do I get it to the screen, Kaylee? Can you just, bag phone, they called them. Yes. Did they call them a bag phone? Wow. So, and Bewitched, love to Bewitched. I've always tried to figure out how to move my nose, but I cannot hold my lip and move my nose. It just doesn't work for me. And I love Lucy, a magnificent lady, Lucille Ball. Love that lady. Yeah, Kaylee, if you can tell me, oh, I can put it up here. Let's see if it's visible. Oh, darn it. What I'll do is I will stop this. And Kaylee sent me this morning. Check this picture out. So we will give it 1 star, 2020, total crap, would not recommend. That is a 2 thumbs upper, Kaylee. Let's see here. All right, so there was one, maybe one more. We're done with popular. That one, that one. Oh, I love this picture, actually. So this store, I'm too bad my little sister is Jervis 346. Welcome. Welcome. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming. If you haven't had an opportunity to ring the bell, please do so. I appreciate it. It does help, as we all know. I still haven't figured all those whys out, but that's what I'm told. So we lived, when we were growing up, we lived directly across from a little store like that. It just reminds me, although the store we lived across from had 2 doors, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. And my parents were best friends with these people. And my mom had a what was it called when you could go, a credit? She could, we could go put stuff on credit. And it also had some fresh fruits and vegetables, but mostly it was like a little corner store, if you all know what I'm talking about. Well, my little sister and I were probably like 8 and 9 or 9 and 10. And we used all summer long, we used to go across there one summer. We just knew we had credit. We didn't know anything about what that meant. So we went to that little corner store across from our house and we charged $1,000. I shouldn't be saying this in front of my son. We charged $1,000 worth of candy for us and our friends. We did not understand what, and by the way, I think my mom's friend George should have told them, your daughters have just charged $50 worth of candy, instead of waiting till it was $1,000 worth of things. Who does that wants to get paid? Anyways, that store reminded me of where I grew up. And where I grew up is just as a crow flies, about really literally as a crow flies. If I was I'll bet if I had a drone and it would go 2 miles, I could send it up and it would be able to go right over to the street that I grew up on. Yeah, my mother was a tyrant, okay? She makes Fidel Castro and his brother seem like babysitters. She made me rear end somebody when I was learning to drive. And I'm saying she made me, because you did not say no to my mother. She wore rings on both hands. I mean, big rings, real rings. And she had no problem backhanding people at will, out of the blue. Okay, she didn't do it much to me because she knew I would have grabbed her hand and bit it, because I wouldn't mind having my butt whipped. But yeah, most people didn't say no to my mama. So this is a Thursday news or not news for those who are new to this room today. This is a day when I generally do something with some funny news things. We don't talk about anything serious. We don't talk politics. We don't talk anything controversial. And if you find anything controversial in these funny little pictures, I don't know what to say about that, because they're really not. They're just funny, cute things. I try to find headlines I did them from the early 1900s. So I like to keep it fun, light, interesting. And I know that some of you were not in here in the very beginning. Oh, Kaylee, in New York, we call these delis. Deli is short for delicatessen. Oh, I know. And there's, you know what is, take a guess, Kaylee. Just take a guess what my favorite sandwich is. We'll see if you can guess, since you know what a delicatessen is and you know what they serve in a deli, a real deli. Yeah, we were the most popular kids on our block. And we lived on a gravel road. So it was moderately rural. My dad was on the fire department that was a block away. Everybody knew everybody. It was a little community called Irving, and we loved it.
All right, we're off. Please watch the bird.
Okay. Pastrami on rye is close, but I love what is the one made with sauerkraut? Richard and I, we went through a phase a couple of years ago where every night I would make us one when we went to bed. That is not a good thing to go to bed with. That much calories, by the way. A Reuben. I love a real good Reuben. And we have one in this town called a delicatessen, a town of like 200,000 people or 180, 90, 200,000 people. One place calls itself a delicatessen. I'm looking at that camera that doesn't exist anymore. I can't believe I'm still doing that. A deli, and we've went there and had them, but I can make them. And if you can make it yourself, and I also like to just eat sauerkraut. I'm crazy like that. My mouth is literally watering at the thought of a Reuben. I'm believing I need a Reuben and I deserve a Reuben. So I'm going to put up my email address one more time in case anybody wants to email. And if you would happen to like to be on our Monday show, well, I'm going to take the news or not news off. If you'd like to be on our Monday show, which is generally where I do interviews of people, email me, CreciaK@gmail.com, because we have all kinds of channels. I have all kinds of channels I'm connected with. I know Kaylee, but oh, I love it. I just love sauerkraut. So if you would like to be interviewed and talk about your channel with nobody else but just you, please email me, because I would love to interview you. Monday, that's what we're trying to do. So Monday, we're interviewing Carrie from The Art of RVing. And if somebody could please, again, drop their link for me, I would deeply appreciate it. And they're a fabulous channel. They rock. Mark is a professional photographer. You know, I love watching their, and they as a couple. So Mark is funny, probably in a dark room with nobody around. I'm just saying. I imagine that man's head is just all full of stuff, and he doesn't know how to shut it down. Carrie balances and is funny and is just a great lady. So she's going to be on Monday, and we're going to talk about the art of RVing from Carrie's standpoint and her experience with it. And I need to keep checking my phone. And yep. Thank you, Kaylee. So I'm going to be doing a little video about Kaylee, what she did for my channel. So, and since there's some people who didn't hear this last week that are new, so I always when I end broadcast, I always hit end broadcast, but apparently I was not also ending Leave Studio, because Kaylee, who is one of my moderators, Carry on, Jeff and John. Oh, well, it's sadly the end, but we still have a few more minutes. And if you would like to come up and chat about your channel, by the way, feel free to. There's a link. I will drop a link one final time for you or anybody else. So Carrie texted me real fast, or messaged me, and said that I had chats open in some of my videos that were on YouTube. And I'm like, what the heck? And sure enough, I go and I see it. The quickest way it was actually a thumbnail that I had done. And the quickest way I could get rid of that open chat, and repurposed adventures. Hello. Thank you. Thank you for coming, especially since I'm normally done by now, an hour ago. So anyways, squirrel ran through my head. Lord God Almighty, I haven't had it happen this bad in a long time. I was just so happy to see some people in here that I haven't seen in a while or haven't had it here at all. It's very nice. Okay, a bit shy. Well, maybe we can talk, take my email if you want. That's what I was talking about. If you would like to be interviewed, please drop me an email, and I will be happy to talk to you about that. Very open to different channels and different topics. I mean, excuse me, burning up the roads. So our intent in January is to be full-time on the road. I'm hoping that we still have the house. It's going to depend on legal issues to do with my father's estate. My son would stay here and do some work for us in different ways. Oh, hot dogs with mustard, sauerkraut, and onions. How did you know, Jervis 346? Yes. Besides super gigantic spicy food, that's the food I love. And I love German food. I love German potato salad, and I love it as, again, there goes that salivation. I love it as sour as I can get it, and other people will eat it. You're so sweet. You guys, I believe you're in England, aren't you? Tell me if I'm right or wrong. And I believe John, you're both chefs, but John, you do most of the cooking, and Jeff is your brother is the editor. I think that's how it works. Carrie, yes, spicy food. Habaneros. I've had ghost pepper. I have to be really careful because Richard takes medicine that amplifies it, and he can't have it at all anymore. So you're in the UK. So what are you, behind us or in front? I think you're ahead of us by about 10 hours, 8 hours, something like that. So you're evening, I think, in the UK. So the Philippines, which is where I've got some friends, they're behind us by 12 hours. So, okay, so I've got it right. Good. I'm not usually quite that right because I've got a few friends now. I've got 702 of you. I'm excited. I'm moving to 1,000. I believe I'll beat 1,000 within 2 weeks. And I was putting my birthday, I turned 59 on October 2nd. And I know everybody says, don't tell your age, don't tell your age. I know, Kaylee, I know. But I can't hide it. So I was thinking right before my birthday or right around my birthday, I would be there. That's like 6 weeks away. And I don't think it's going to take me 6 weeks to get 300 more friends. If I do what I've been doing. And so, Ava Potterfield, that will be awesome to reach. I know. So when I reach 1,000, that's, just the beginning. I'll be able to focus more on my content. Right now, I'm focusing on getting there to that one benchmark and, continuing to build from there. But I believe that it will be easier for me to focus on the, from there, it will be easier to focus on the content. And I've got a little content I'm going to work on today. Richard and I took a drive a couple weeks ago that I still haven't got to that. I got something else out between then and now, though. And I'm not going to try and get all fancy with my editing because I'm not a professional editor. So I need to quit thinking like I should be able to do. So in my mind, I should just be able to do it. I should just be able to watch other people's videos or directional videos that, tell us how to do it and do it. And it don't work like that. I like to put it back. I prefer to have a background. Okay. And I have not been able to do that very successfully. I used a red background on my one at the park. I don't like it at all. I may go in there and rip that background out and just leave it black. Okay. Kaylee is saying 3 minutes. Okay, dear. All right. So what I'm going to do, who are we rating? Is it Ardez? So there's a wonderful YouTube channel we're going to be rating, I believe. And it is Ardez Car Life. I think. She has a new name. But if you go to Ardez Car Life, and if somebody could put up her link, I would so love it. And just let her know that Burning Up the Roads raid. She's great, a great girl, great channel, very smart, has lived in her car, knows how to do it, by the way. And I give props to those people. If I could find a way to go out today and put a bunch of clothes and some food and some water and some way to bathe properly into a van, I'd be gone about the 25th. When I get paid, we would be gone and out of here. I can't figure that out. I have to be able to stand upright because of my spinal disease, and I really need a bathroom area. And I'm not a fully roughed girl. I'm just not a fully roughed. I mean, I like to hike. That's why I had both knees replaced last year, because I wanted, when I get out on the road, I wanted to be able to hike a little bit, even just to go venture around where we're camping. So, Kaylee, do you know, is it Rhonda? Is it going to be Rhonda? That's the raid? Because I'm going to get ready to end the broadcast here in just a few minutes, like a minute. All right. Well, I guess that's not going to happen. But if you want to check out Ardez Car Life, please. I would so appreciate it, because I believe she is on now, on at 2 o'clock. And thank you for this 2 hours. It's been great. I've met some new people. New people come to my channel, and that's part of what this is all about, is getting new family, new friends, figuring out how to do this, and y'all are helping me do it. So, love you guys. Be safe, stay healthy, and I will see you Monday with Art of RVing's Carrie.